It's time for the millions in attendance, for those who are seeking retribution. Welcome to the stream. I'm your fine, fantastic artist guy for the day, Master Fran, here to show off some on a fine, I'd say Wednesday. Meh. On a fine Wednesday afternoon, it's 2 p.m. Still, it's much earlier than my regular stream. I regularly stream at 7 p.m., but this time I'm, doing a giant week of art streaming where I will be streaming a bunch of commissions and art and all that cool stuff. But yes, welcome to Master Fran Art Stream. I have been pretty decent in general, just doing a whole host of stuff, doing a bunch of errands, picking up my brother from his job, things like that, plus tackling some little bitty things, black mask, background stuff, because I realized I actually hadn't handed my programmer the actual background assets. So I figured I'd drop these assets around. And of course, I had to go back and find them because they're not in the stupid, they're not open in Sprite because I accidentally closed Sprite. So let me get that open real fast and I can just show off the actual proper assets. Okay. Let's swap over. Alright, so here we are with some little black mass assets here. We have the pillar room here where if you crop it away, and we're just going to do a temporary crop. I will crop it by 32 pixels from the middle, which is basically 16 squares with in between each margin. So basically this spot. Oh, that's not it. I want this. Wait a minute. Let me see the grid real fast. Okay. New canvas size, 32. That will get rid of, a grid of margins. And bada bing, bada boom, you are seeing this. And it's a seamless moving loop here. So you're seeing a nice seamless loop. Cole will walk through and then, while important stuff is happening, you have things like the stage design will be around for anyone who needs to do stuff. So that's there. Obviously, there's going to be actual proper stuff, but this is for those thin hallways where Cole must, walk through and things like that. Little bits of jumps. And this is mostly just background elements with that stuff. But yeah, I've set this background up so it can just loop infinitely with no seams overall. And once the seam's done, lo and behold, you can get the end piece. So you can hit up a end spot here where you can see a dead end, or you might just go find an open doorway. So that's mostly what this end piece is here. Of course, I have a left variant where you can see the left side of everything, all the pillars and stuff like that. And that's pretty good overall. And through sheer, I'd say, coincidence, I've set it up so basically both sides can be symmetrical at the same time. I never thought of it that way, but it's a nice spot to be like, oh, this is a save room, isn't it? Not really, but you know, it could function like that. So it'd look pretty aesthetic, and I could probably get rid of the grid here. And it looks pretty solid here. Could have Cole running around, boom, screen scroll, next screen, stuff like that. It looks straight out of a legit game and stuff like that. So that's kind of just what I've been doing for Black Mask. And for those who are kind of like new to what I've been up to, this is Black Mask, the game I'm currently working on with a friend right now, with a programmer friend. We've been tackling a whole bunch of different tasks with developing in Unity. Girl, my programmer programs in Unity. I make the sprites in Sprite and things like that. And we've been working on it for the past 4 years, as we're making basically a stealth action game in the style of, you know, old school Game Boy games. And it's a story of a raccoon treasure hunter going all over the world finding treasures for his merchant shop and dealing with all the shenanigans that entails, like, you know, fighting animal adversaries and all that stuff. So we've been working on a demo for the past 4 years, and we hope to get something done sometime within, you know, this year, things like that. So I never know if this is gonna, you know, it's mostly just me kind of just doing art stuff as I wait for stuff. So it is what it is with that. Anywho, that's what I've been up to. So this has been pretty decent. I'm gonna try to like undo all this so I can prepare to just not save the crop. And we're going to check back into a thing that I've been doing from the previous stream, which was this commission. So this has been what I've been working on since last time I streamed. It was last night. It was later the day, but I'm you know, making that. Yeah, I'm making it work so far. You know, I should have maybe I could crop you a little bit more. So color range, actually. Let me see the grid again. I think I'll be able to actually just crop you back to like another 16. It's basically a widescreen GBA game. In fact, or yeah, what is the screen size for a Game Boy Advance screen? You know what? I'm gonna look it up real fast, just for the sake of doing it right now. Okay, Game Boy Advance pixel screen size. Or like screen resolution. Okay, so 240 pixels by 160 pixels high. So if I made the canvas size like 240, that's an extra like probably put this here. That's a whole extra widescreen. That's an extra, what's it, 16 times 4, 64 pixels? Yeah, 64 pixels. So yeah, it looks pretty solid actually. In fact, I think compositionally I'll keep it like this. I kind of just have that like that. since I've already broken my initial, I guess, composition rule that I would stick with the initial 144 by 144 commission thing for my commissions, which I'm still taking commissions, by the way. If you're all interested, I'm taking Game Boy commissions right now. Probably for the week, probably for the rest of the week, if anyone's interested. But yeah, do some really fast Game Boy commissions with some little stretches for if you negotiate with me. And they're pretty fast, and they're also, I'd say, for me, professionally created, so you're seeing some high quality pixel art. So if you're interested in some fine pixel art, you know, made like a cool avatar or a VTuber or something like that, you know, I'm your guy. Anywho, get back to just doing some cool work here. So yeah, probably get in communication with my person with the last note. Alright, so they like how this is all coming along. And honestly, it's a solid start overall, and everything else is mostly just tackling some little things. So, the last thing I was doing overall was work on this tail. And oh yeah, I just realized something. I just realized something very, very important. I also realized that I seriously hope I didn't fork it, because I realized I was time-lapse streaming and I didn't actually check if the script actually exports it, so did it do it? Oh man, I'm now like checking it right now. Oh, it is working. This looks cool. Real nice, real nice. It's actually like doing it legit. That's awesome. This actually looks incredible. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm experimenting with this. I guess it's a time lapse plugin, but I've never like used it much. So I'm figuring it out. It's pretty good. It's been you know, me kind of like looking at this and figuring out how that goes. But it's nice that it's actually recording it, so I'm pretty happy with that. So I'll actually be able to work off of this as I go. So, 1 second while I basically go back to the initial canvas of okay, so plus 16, and then canvas size plus 16. And that'll work. Everything's looking GBA size. Yeah, let me see if I can find where I got the time lapse plugin. So I'll drop a link to the time lapse because I got it from itch.io. And bada boom, bada bing. Where are ya? There's someplace. Time-lapse plugin tool. It's called Record for a Sprite by Springer or Sprunger. It's kind of silly like that, but I shall drop a link to the plugin in chat. You can see it for yourself and mess about with it. Sprite is pretty decent when it comes to like strips and plugins, so that's mainly why most people dig doing strips in general. Well, you know, doing Sprite in general is just the strips are, you know, they're good for that. So I'm gonna lock you up and it'll work in here. I will say that it does the one issue with this time lapse is if you are the type of person who saves their files in multiple versions, it won't save the file with it. It has to stick with the same file if you want to have, you know, the same pixel thing. So that can be an issue for certain pixel artists. I tend to do it myself, but I'm experimenting with that for this specific commission. So I just messing about with getting this down. But yeah, so far so good. It's just a matter of getting this tail done. And I think I'll just get rid of the line in favor of just making a cool sketch. But yeah, how are things going, Seven Brubbles? Things going well? Hope everything's going well. I've been pretty decent in general. I should go back to my rest to see what this tail actually looks like. This tail's kind of specific. It's kind of like a interesting stripe style, so working with that. It sounds straight out of like Morocco or whatever it is. Probably isn't from Morocco, but it's kind of that vibe of beachfront, which makes sense. I think this is a skater die level on the boardwalk or something. Alright, let's go here and then good. Thank you. Yeah, it's mostly just, you know, enjoying some cool NES chip tunes and things like that. Mostly kind of just showing off probably the more obscure tracks of the NES. You know, a lot of Rob Hubbard. Plus, you know, things I'll find on Bandcamp as well. Bandcamp is very, I think to this day, still kind of underrated when it comes to just music streaming. I feel like nobody really chooses Bandcamp in general. And it's a shame because Spotify sucks ass. Like, I've only used the free version of Spotify and Pandora. But I feel like those streaming sites prey upon your inconvenience, where it wants you to pay to get back your convenience of being able to listen to your music. Because, you know, Pandora, it doesn't give you, you know, Spotify doesn't give you the ability to skip tracks as much as you need to, because they'll just shuffle in, you know, algorithmically a bunch of tracks that it thinks that you'll listen to, but usually you'll get it wrong. But because you don't want to use up all your skips for the day, you end up stuck with songs that you either would never want to listen to or something that'll just clash with your mood. So you end up just dissatisfied overall with the experience. That's me just talking about why I just really don't like listening to any music in Spotify. I guess I'm I don't know, a early 2000s kid where I'm like, yeah, I downloaded most of my MP3s. Yeah, and Spotify is also not good for artists. Yeah, definitely. Like I think I remember finding a Blue Sky post where it talks about Spotify's, I guess, payouts compared to Bandcamp, and basically just buying the music in Bandcamp, even outside of Bandcamp Fridays, which is where Bandcamp won't take more than, they won't do revenue share with the artist for that day. But even taking away that, it's still a way better payout overall than anything you play on any streams you get on Spotify. I'm like, well, shit, I never even knew that. I just like the fact that Bandcamp let me just buy the damn MP3 files as MP3 files, and it doesn't hold me against only streaming on Wi-Fi, or I can make my own playlist. I can put it on VLC. I can have it on a CD. I can burn in my own CD and just make my own mix, stuff like that. And I'm overall just happier with the experience with Bandcamp as opposed to Spotify, where you can't even download the tracks, can you? Like, okay, you pay for Spotify. Can you even download the tracks so you can play them offline? I don't even know. And honestly, at this point, I no longer care to know, because there's little Spotify can say or do to convince, especially now that I'm more aware that, yeah, Spotify is just awful for artists in general. So why the heck would you? Like, it was one thing for iTunes to be like, okay, iTunes, it lets you conveniently buy music for 99 cents, I suppose. I suppose that could have been, the service issue of maybe being a good service that's convenient for the normies to be able to buy their music. But then it just slowly and steadily just got worse and more useless, because they just want to nickel and dime you. So it's been a giant, just downhill slope of, I guess, business folks making shit way more inconvenient just because they want to make more and more money off of you. And meanwhile, you just end up miserable because they profit off your inconvenience, I suppose. Ah, crap, another frickin' bot. Gotta trash that. Ultra ban. Alright. I'm getting better at catching all these bots. It's kind of funny because I think this is there hasn't been many bots for probably the early times of me streaming. Like, I hadn't seen a bot at all in maybe a couple months or so. Now work. But now, I suppose now that I'm doing this for every day, I'm now seeing the bots more often. So it could be, I forget that fallacy where because you're observing it more often, you're getting it. It's it's that fallacy behind 1350, that fallacy. I forget what it's called, but basically you are getting more results simply by observing it and not actually getting more results overall. It's like watching a pot boil, kind of. You know it'll boil at that time. It doesn't change the time that's boiling. But because you're watching the pot boil, it feels like it's taking longer than it really does take for a pot to boil. So that's kind of that fallacy in a nutshell. Or at least that's how I've understood that fallacy. But yeah, it is what it is with that. Ah! Hey, Regions, how's it going? Thanks for the raid. Welcome, welcome. Welcome to my fine little stream here. Enjoying some cool stuff as I take on these Game Boy commissions here. Currently, I'm working on a huge commission where I'm basically working on a fox here. Let me just hide the grid here. And so far, it's so good. Things have been pretty good here. Yeah, seen across the room, also worked on a commission. Ah, fantastic. Yeah, I think if I remember right, I think this morning you were working on a 3D model. Yeah, thank you very much. I suppose I'll chill the Game Boy commissions again, but I still have a few Game Boy slots open. So if you're all interested in getting a cool slot, I have a little command where you type in Game Boy commissions or GB commission. Blah. You working? Okay, good. I guess my commands aren't exactly working that well. But yeah, currently doing a commission like this. And also, I'll talk about the game that I'm currently working on. So this game's called Black Mass. It's a stealth platformer game about a raccoon treasure hunter going all over the world to find cool treasures for his merchant shop. And me and a programmer friend have been working on this game for the past 4 years, making a demo. And if you follow me online on my socials, you've probably seen me basically post a few backgrounds of working on this. I could bring this back. So this is the latest in my large dungeon crawling backgrounds that I've been doing, and it's been pretty nice. Tackling some little broken rooms and stuff like that. And this is meant to be a seamless loop, but I have my margins out here to kind of just be there for all that stuff. But yeah, that's been what I've been up to for, I'd say, the past week or stuff. Ah, yes, of course. I too am the raccoon connoisseur. Of course, yeah, you followed me for the for that plus the Game Boy stick. Oh yeah, I followed you for your mostly low poly 3D. I've always kind of just been real interested in figuring out how to do low poly 3D as well, because I guess doing this game has revived my interest in making retro games or indie games and things like that. I went to college for game development at the start, mostly because I was interested in game artwork. But then I realized, game development just requires a lot of 3D artwork. And at the time, I was bouncing off of 3D modeling. I wasn't liking it as much as I did with drawing. But later in the years, I sort of regretted learning that, especially since I'd grown to appreciate how 3D models were done. And the intricate, how you could actually do some good stuff with 3D animation and some cool, some cool. Also, it was the beginning of 3D printing as well. Like a bunch of friends of mine were showing off some 3D prints that they were doing. And I was like, holy cow, I could make my own action figures. This is rad. I could like do my own G.I. Joe action figures, Ninja Turtle action figures, stuff like that. So yeah, that's kind of why I still have that hankering to at least try it out. Oh yeah, Little Norwegians is currently making their own 3D game themselves. And I'll just shout out Little Norwegians right now. How do you even do shout outs? I don't remember. Yeah, can I how do you shout this character out? And it's like SO Little Norwegians. Yeah. How do you do the shout out? I hope this works. Does the shout out work? Yes, the shout out works. I'm so happy. But yes, follow a Little Norwegians because he's making a 3D low poly 3D. I think it looked like a stealth game to me too, but you could tell me what a combustion is, because I kind of sort of know what combustion is just seeing you work on it in your screenshots. So yeah, I know that it's a low poly 3D game, so I'd want to at least give it a look. Yeah, thank you. I have been thinking about trying to figure out how to learn GB Studio. That's a game engine-ish tool where you can figure out how to make a Game Boy ROMs, like actual ROMs. You could take it in a Visual Boy Advance, and it actually works. And you can also potentially put in a cartridge, but I'll get past that when I can. But I'm trying to figure out, okay, how could I get this large sprite into an actual cartridge? Because that'd be the great goal. Let's figure out how to do something like that. So I look at this and I'm wondering, how could I improve this silhouette overall? But yeah, overall it's been pretty solid. I think I can get this done today. Yes. Oh yeah, it's a leveler to the PS1. Yeah. It's kind of funny because even though I know about the PS1 and stuff like that, I think I grew up with the Nintendo 64. But I feel like I have to admit that the PS1 overall had the better library. Like all the Final Fantasy games just went to PlayStation 1, and it's half the reason why I hadn't played any of the games past 6 is because they all went to PS1, and PlayStation was the expensive console and Nintendo was the cheap one. And I was still kind of just in that mindset. Of course, now that I'm an adult and I can just get the stuff wherever, it's pretty straightforward. But honestly, making that, there's this current era of people now making low poly games these days because Blender's now available. More people are trying it out and seeing what they can make. You got all the I suppose, horror games that are just coming out that are low poly. A lot of Resident Evil clones, honestly. and that's pretty all right. But I've yet to see. Well, there are coming. Like there are a bunch of 3D platformers arriving. I do want to play games like a Pseudo Regalia and there was also another one. What was it? I'm not thinking Demon Turf. The Demon Turf's sort of a 2.5 type game, but there are a few other 3D platforms that are coming out, like a Rough and Ready, but that's also 2.5D. So it's like, okay, so there really aren't many, I suppose, low poly 3D platformers. But I do remember I recently played Valky 64, and that was a Ocarina of Time inspired. I think it's a 3D. No, it's more of an adventure game because it's much more Zelda inspired than a platformer, really. Okay, I've been refining this tale for too long, so let's see what just little bits of stuff I can do at the moment. Maybe like use the black line to just work that and get a bit more deep. Oh no, I wasn't gonna do that. But yeah, things have been pretty good, all right. I do want to try out more games on itch though, because doing a lot of this game development has revived my interest in learning more about video games, and a lot of my artwork has been inspired by classic video game art, especially my marker art. You can see most of that influence in my marker drawings. When here you're just seeing the character designs look straight out of an RPG. And of course, I would love to make an RPG now, but it's kind of that indie game developer meme of don't have your first game be an RPG, you will die. And so I'm kind of adhering to that advice in a tiny way. It's just, it's mostly a stealth platformer game, but it might have RPG elements if we think about how the design's gonna be. But we're trying not to balloon it out too much. Hell, you can try my game on it, just make sure nobody's under 18 in the room. I could probably do that for Twitch. Also, I do have a Picardo account, so it's not like I couldn't. Like, I could try your game on a website that actually allows that. Yeah, having worked on Combustion as long as I have, there's one proof to that RPG point, but I am making it. And you got wisdom to say all that. Oh yeah, like I'd say there are a bunch of game types that I sometimes dream about in my art and I guess my story writing. I'm like, I would love to make a game like that. Like I would love to make a fighting game, but that will require a real ass art team. So I'm gonna put that in the pocket for a while. Now the long-term goal is to make a cool, RPG that's like solid. Like, yes, I'm going to make a game that's just as good as Final Fantasy VI. That's totally an easy task. But no, like I think the next game that I'd work on, I hope to have the clout to be able to just go up to someone and say, I have experience, you want to join my team? And I can have that confidence that to be able to just have that approach. Because right now I feel like a weirdo when I would go up to people and say, well, I'm a game developer. I'm currently developing a game that's still not out yet. It's still not even out of probably pre-alpha, really, because you know most of the game part of my game is in my programmer's hands. So they're doing the actual proper stuff. Oh yeah, writing for games is super hard as well. That's also a whole other thing that I do struggle with. Is I come from a comics creation background, and I'm not as super experienced with comics writing in general, let alone game writing. So I have been putting myself in a longer grind to learn how to just write in general. So that's one thing that I've been trying to get myself to just get better at, is learning the ins and outs of not just storytelling, but interactive storytelling, when people can just go through it. All right, see you, little Norwegians. Great to see you. Yeah, my game Gooey Glueys has an opening cutscene for every level, but I made it as silly and nonsensical as possible. And yeah, I feel like that's probably the best possible approach overall. I sometimes worry that maybe I am making a game where nobody's understanding my character motivations and stuff like that. You have all those typical, the typical writing advice. Make, show, don't tell, should make sure the characters have clear wants and needs, stuff like that. And yeah, it's one thing to know that, but it's a whole nother thing to execute and feel like you're not being long-winded about it. So I'd say figuring out that writing is mostly just a matter of just fucking writing, because at the end of the day, that's all you can really do. Because I look through a lot of writing books and writing advice, and eventually I came to the conclusion that you're kind of gonna hit a ceiling when it comes to, I guess, advice on how to write, and everything else just boils down to write the damn thing and edit the thing. Because I think most writing advice is editing advice, when the only real writing advice you need is put words on paper and keep doing that until you're done putting words on paper. And then all the rest of the stuff is, the actual writing advice of, are the character motivations clear? Is the setting, not long-winded? Is world building consistent? That stuff is editing advice, where you're gonna reread your writing. And when you reread your writing, you'll notice the inconsistencies or the contradictions, or you'll realize, oh, this ain't punchy enough, or this is a little drawn out. No, it's not working. So yeah, things have been pretty all right. Yeah, I gotta go play a game with a friend, keep up with the good work. Yeah, see you later. Because I think I'm now just starting to overwork this too much. I think I'm hitting a point where I'm now kind of like just being like, okay, you're now just overworking. But yeah, I do want to, this stream might be shorter, because I do want to have a bit of time to, well, one, I feel kind of hungry, so I want to eat some food later. I'm feeling packaged. I might just get some pizza. Nah, I still have leftover. Now, one thing when it comes to doing a lot of this stuff is, one thing when it comes to being on spring break is you have this instinct to bunker down and not want to spend a lot of money. tracks, of course, you know, you don't have the cash to really just go all over the place. So the instinct to bunker down is immediate, and you'll end up feeling like you're, you know, constantly needing to justify actually going out and paying for the weird tasks that you need to do. So it is what it is. Yeah, this track is from what's it called? I now need to look at my thing again. Magician. That's where it's from. And I do want to play this game because this soundtrack's a bop. I need to know more about this game. Like, there's a whole host of, you know, NES games that have exceptional soundtracks that are probably garbage can games. Mostly because a lot of those games are, you know, for profit, you know, driven games that probably weren't really given good review scores or were just flat out not very good. Which is a shame because a lot of those composers are probably just now obscure. A lot of people tend to talk about, you know, people like Tim Follin and things like that when it comes to top 10 incredible game soundtracks of the 8-bit NES era. But you don't have, I feel like people like Rob Hubbard don't really get into those conversations. Like, well, actually, no. I feel like if we go into more of the Commodore 64 stuff, Rob Hubbard comes up a bit more often. Because you hear Rob Hubbard's NES stuff, and it's very similar to his Commodore 64 music. Which I should probably get some of those Commodore 64 tracks on my playlist of 8-bit music. I think this playlist just has NES music right now, but I do have a few Commodore 64 tracks just in my hard drives. Let's actually get to this. Okay, good. All right. I think everything else is now kind of just refine these details. Get things looking good. All right. But yeah, you have like Rob Hubbard and Alberto, shoot, I forget his actual last name. But he did the soundtrack for the Smurfs and the Asterix games. Those are pretty good games. Or they have pretty good soundtracks. But then you have like a bunch of really just lost to time soundtracks with that as well. Like you have oh, I just realized that I'm looking at my rests some more, and there's a bunch of coloration that I need to get down some more. Yeah, come on, continuous. Where was I going again? Oh yes, I was basically just talking about just game composers that, you know, I really like, or I still feel like are just not as rated as that they should be. I don't even know if they're underrated, because I'm sure a real legit game composer guy who knows their stuff would be like, well, this guy's pretty common in chiptune, you know, chiptune communities and things like that. Like, I don't know chiptune people, I just know this bare bones basic music knowledge that makes me happy. That's mostly it, really. It's not even that I have that exceptional taste in music, it's just I find cool tracks and I want to tell people that they should also listen to these cool tracks because they sound good to my monkey brain ears. Okay, I'm nearly done. I could probably yeah. And you know what? I think I can start just adding a bit of shade overall. Just throw some shade. And also, one other thing that I've been really digging are, I suppose, 8-bit style reproductions, where, you know, a current day composer takes the sound, you know, those old school sound fonts and makes new compositions with it. Because that's what this recent song was by what's her name? Because this was a remix Zelda 2. This was a remade Zelda 2 soundtrack by Laura. I think it's Laura. What's her name? Do I have the artist? Oh no, it's Isabel Chiming. And yeah, so far it's been pretty nice just listening to soundtracks like that. And YouTube recommends me stuff like that because, you know, YouTube will do that often. And it will recommend me, you know, people not just remixing soundtracks, but sort of making reproductions of 8-bit music. Like I found this one YouTuber, and I'm blanking on their name, where they basically made Final Fantasy 1's boss themes that were from the remade Final Fantasy 1's. So, you know, it's the stuff from you know, it's the actual new boss themes and the chaos theme and things like that, but it's made in the original Final Fantasy 1 8-bit sound font. So you're basically hearing an 8-bit remix of those like Dawn of Souls or that old Final Fantasy Origin soundtracks, but in 8-bit. And I find that incredible to me. Okay. Oh yeah, this also needs to be made as well, because yeah, this also. But yeah, doing stuff like that's been pretty nice, and I think once I edit this YouTube video and put it out later, I'll see if I can't find links to those soundtracks and show everyone where you can find them. Okay, so far so good. And then I could probably yeah, this spot is interesting because I'm sort of doing an equivalent of trying to get those fine markings in. It can be tough getting those equivalent markings down there because the one tough thing about doing some of these commissions is trying to figure out that puzzle of how do you convey that subject in the limits of classic pixel art. And I'd say that's probably the true challenge of being a pixel artist, figuring out what how you convey that complicated style in pixel art, which makes sense. Yeah, right. So far, we're going to do the really hard thing, is try to get these markings in there. They're subtle, but I think I can do it. Let's start with this one. Yeah, my commissioner like said that I didn't have to do it, but I'm like, I will fucking do it. Fuck you, I will. I'm the best Pixar's in the world, guys. I can do it. I made a promise. And that's kind of it. It's just I feel like I gotta do right by people who are hiring me to do their cool stuff, because I guess there's this sense of pride in being able to just be that reliable guy. And half this might be just me being a wacky people pleaser in life. And half of that could just be, you know, the eagerness to be like, yes, of course I can do this. Of course I'm better than all the other Pixars at doing that. You kind of gotta show up with that. So it is what it is. But yeah, I'm doing these elaborate things to see if I could even do it. And there's a sense of accomplishment when you actually pull it off. You feel like, of course, you have pulled it off. You never thought you'd do it, but you did it and you proved yourself wrong. I suppose that's also the appeal of doing, I guess, probably not just art achievement, but just any achievement. It's just being able to say, yes, you beat your own doubts in order to succeed. And now you are a better person because of that. And that is the good feeling that most, I suppose, people who strive for stuff tend to do, which makes sense. If you didn't, you wouldn't really, I'd say you probably wouldn't be as an interesting person if you weren't, I suppose, wanting for stuff. I suppose that goes back to the storytelling thing of, interesting characters have clear wants and needs. And it makes sense. You have those anime characters who are like, I want to be the best job description that this manga is about, whether it's being a Pokemon trainer, being the best pirate, or the top pirate, or being the best wizard in case of Black Clover. Black Clover is a weird manga in some ways because it's a fantasy manga, but it's not in that, I guess it's not, I feel like Black Clover's never talked about in the conversation that you would with, things like RE0 or ReZero or Sword Art Online or Redo the Heal. Well, actually, Redo the Healer is a bad one to talk about, but it's in that conversation where it's a basically obviously it's not an isekai anime, but it's a fantasy anime. But now thinking about it, how many fantasy animes are there that aren't simply isekai games, like game inspired video game or MMO inspired games, like without those elements? Like there aren't many animes that are just pure. Well, actually, no. Frenen's there. Like Frenen's, Frenen is a notable example, and what's it called? The other one that's also just basically the other series. The cooking one. Dungeon Meshi, I think it is. I haven't seen those, but I hear they're really good. So I want to catch that whenever I can. But I'm not good at catching anime when it's out. So it is what it is with that. Okay, this is fascinating. You actually have underhand. How does that work? That's a bit inconsistent because this model has the underhand, but this model does have the underhand. That's kind of fascinating. That I think for the sake of just saving my own time, I'm just gonna stick with this hand style. You know, if push comes to shove and you're given the opportunity to be lazy, just be lazy. You know, just be a lazy prick. You might as well save your efforts for the times that are actually needed instead of burning yourself out over stuff that may not even require that effort. I've been slowly teaching myself to just not fret so hard about going 100% on every tiny little aspect, because that's also another that's also a game development. I wouldn't say it's a game development tip that I got, but it does make sense in terms of, you know, work planning. There was a recent YouTube video where someone talks about early polishing not being effective, and that makes sense. That tracks with other stuff that I've been doing. I used to be a game tester, and that kind of stuff was talked about a lot, of like not fretting so much about the polishing stuff, because polishing issues are a completely separate thing compared to actually knowing what you need to do at the moment. So this paw would actually be here. This paw would like glow and stuff. I'm like looking at the model sheet again. It glows. So I'm gonna put that there. In a bit. That'll work incredibly. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So far, so good. I'm making it work, bros. I'm making it work, brubs. Yeah, think I might be able to get a little bit of that backhandness to it. Have that. I suppose Tron line. It's an electronic line. It's like the cyberpunk line. I remember there was a joke on Twitter a while ago where someone paints a cube, but then they put lines on it and call it the cyberpunk cube. That's basically what that's the sci-fi cube, where it is, where they'll just take a cube, but they'll just add little lines of the I think the plates of metal to just indicate that it's not just a cube, but this cube has little plates where it, you know, assembles and things like that. I thought that was just the silliest stuff. It also reminds you of I don't know if it was a Tim Rogers or Sean Baby thing, but there's a website that was kind of a mock game review score of it, calling it Time to Crate, where it reviews games based on the amount of time that passes before you find a crate. It's apparently an indicator that the dev gave up trying to think of ways to make an environment art interesting. And yeah, it's funny, but it has stuck with me. And it has kind of like made me realize, okay, how do I make this interesting in terms of like little assets and stuff like that? So, you know, sometimes satire can lead to, I suppose, legitimate, you know, I guess I wouldn't call it messages, but like real commentary on I guess, a state of maybe game development. I don't know, man. I think I'm pondering this too much. Okay, so far so good. I feel like this is too sharp. And I'm pondering how much I could do this. Okay. Kind of figuring out what I could do with this. Because now I'm kind of in the refine this as I go. Yeah, funny because I still need to refine the lines here, so let me get back to what I was supposed to be doing. I think I can get this down here. You know, we're just gonna do it pixel thin, because it's not supposed to take up attention. It's supposed to be much thinner with that. Okay. I am getting it slowly and steadily. Nearly got it. Yeah. Wizardry is also another, I guess, RPG that I'm curious to try out. Because it's always in that conversation of notable old school RPGs, but you know, it's one of those, you know, it's among those games where they're hard to access because they're so old. But they are the games that influence a lot of modern games. Like a lot of Ultima and Wizardry was inspired RPGs, like JRPGs and things like that. Like a lot of console RPGs are inspired by, I suppose, the console versions of Wizardry. So I am curious to at least try it out. Apparently, the Wizardry series is still going in Japan. Like apparently, some Japanese devs have the rights to Wizardry because the American devs were like, what the hell is a Wizardry? Who cares? Which is a shame, but I guess that's the nature of American devs. I think Ultima's also still dead too. Mostly because I think EA owns Ultima. I think it only has Ultima on it. And I don't remember for sure if Ultima Online's still going. But apparently that's kind of just the status of Ultima at the moment. Is just it's fairly dormant. They're not willing to make re-releases because that's life for you. I think there are some re-releases on Good Old Games, if I remember right. I think I bought a few, if I remember right, I bought some Ultima games on Good Old Games. I don't know why I don't call it GOG at all. Always refer to it by Good Old Games. I think if I know what the acronym stands for, I never refer to it by its acronym at all, no matter how much I try to remember it. Even though, yes, it's called GOG, I still end up calling it good old games, just as a weird nerd. That's right, Turbo Nerd. Call it the full name like a Turbo Nerd. Well. Yeah, that's... You know, for the sake of just making this, we're just gonna... Instead, we're just gonna push this line further. The further away a detail is, the less detail you really need thing, because you know, essentially you are losing focus of the detail in general. So not only are you losing focus in that detail, you're really not going to care about that extra bit of, you know, extra stuff. Okay. I think I got this down. I think I could probably use more of a controlled spear, or not spear, but a circle, because the model looks more circly, this pattern. Oh yeah, I think I got it. Okay. I think I got this. Full S. Back stretch. I think I'm gonna stand for a bit. I'll be right back. And let's just stretch. And you should stretch too. If you're also working or just sitting for a bit, you should stretch as well, because you know, we ain't getting any younger and we ain't getting any healthier. So in order to keep my life long enough, I'm going to stretch a bit. So I will be right back. Boom. I'm finally back. Sorry I was gone so long. I was eating lunch, getting more snacks, stuff like that. But things should be good. I just messing about, so now I'm doing pretty well now. Hope everyone's doing all right. Kind of just rocking out with this. So yeah, so far I've been just working on this right now. All right, my client, so it is what it is. I think I'm basically at this point where I'm now just focusing on figuring out spots where I can do some very sloppy lighting. Might be able to I wonder. Maybe I could do like a dither thing. Yeah, this should be Alt 2. Yeah, why is it that it never starts at Alt 2? I suppose. Zoom in a bit more. This could work. It's looking too busy. I should use the black. I should put it on a separate layer, so if I color it, I'm not completely screwing myself. Okay. Yeah, just figuring it out as I go. I just realized that this ain't exact dither. Yeah. 2. Okay, get you there. No, rides a bus. No one rides a bus. Wow. Bow, bow, bow. Bow, bow. I wonder if dithering can actually fill in. I guess maybe dithering can be a replacement for what I want to do with this. Not perfect, but it could be helpful. So, it does look a bit messy. I should probably make this more of a dithering. It's sort of working. Mostly a matter of getting this to look like. This kind of works. So all right, so far so good. Okay. All right, back to dithering. I want to play Star Tropics because I hear it's a really good game. Also, I'm a Nitro Rad fan, so if he says it's good, it must be good. So, me and the Hollower look so much like Star Tropics that I'm like, maybe I should just wait until that game comes out and play that instead. Yeah, for those who don't know, I guess the big notable indie game that seems to be on the horizon is me and the Hollower. And some people are like, oh, this is top-down Castlevania. But smart people are like, no, this is Star Tropics 3. Hell yeah, motherfucker. Of course, no one's gonna actually put that together, but it is what it is with that. But I know. You might not know, but your brain does. I'm kind of like zooming out, seeing what could make this look to an aesthetic. Sorry. Feel like the tail could be. This guy has two different variants of their tail. One tail where they have the dark back, another tail where they have a light back. So you know what? I'm just gonna stick with the dark back variants. Pardon me, I'm coughing all the time. You know, I don't know why the dithering brush doesn't immediately go to the color you have or the color you pick. I'd have to look that up to figure out why it does that. But I do look at this. The dithering is starting to work. Oh, I put it in the wrong layer. So, if you zoom out, dithering actually looks pretty solid. Pretty happy with this. Looks pretty aesthetic. Keep saying that it looks aesthetic, but I'm sort of right. Okay. And I kind of just have this as a cast shadow, just to indicate that this is indeed falling into shadow. No, that ain't gonna work. Yeah, making a cast shadow ain't gonna work, really. Let's leave it like the Dither and it'll be a start. Okay, I can do something with the face. Do some fun stuff with this. Luckily, I think I'm doing pretty well with this dithering. This is looking actually surprisingly good. I'm making this work better. Nudge you further, and that'll work. Do some little things to kind of just add some tips to this. Yeah, I'm just doing some personal dithering. Tits. Alright. I might be able to salvage this. Alright, might just be the south. This. Okay, good. I don't want you specifically in the dithering section. And also, I didn't even know that this was blank, so gotta fill that out. Oh. I actually never double checked where all my stuff was filled or not. I think this weekend I'll actually just go and fucking play Final Fantasy 2 because it's been on my Switch. I didn't want to play it on my Switch, but if I don't play it on my Switch, it's just gonna be there forever. Being Final Fantasy 2. I want to play Final Fantasy 2. Final Fantasy 2 is actual trash. But I probably do need to at least play a little bit of Final Fantasy 2. Probably because it's just in the collection. You should at least know how to play it so you can understand why it's bad, as opposed to just being like, yes, this game is really bad. Yeah, but why though? Why is it bad? It's one thing to accept that a game is bad, I suppose, but if you can't even elaborate on why, you're just parroting everyone else's opinions instead of, you know, being a more full-figured human being like, it's bad because, you know, the gameplay is very inconvenient to what you need to do with this battle system. And the leveling system is not as intuitive, yada, 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 stuff like that. And obviously, you know, you learn how to do this stuff by actually doing it as opposed to just embracing everything else. Yeah. Okay. I am improving this by having fur just here. This is where Indiana Jones has to fight Nazis. Alright. Yeah, got this. Alright. You don't know what I should do? I should go to Galvin Ghost again. Probably won't have time to get to Galvin Ghost, but you know, it's a thing that I should do before spring break ends. I think I'll do it in the weekend when I finish all these streams. I gotta stop doing these streams on Friday or after Friday, because I think I've done more than like 3. Could be more than enough to satisfy, I guess, my ego of saying yes, I can do daily streams, but it's, you know, not as ideal. Though it does help me experiment and figure out what optimal stream times there are. But this has been helpful. All right. Things are working much better. But once I get the fur actually down, it'll simply be uphill for this, because I'll just need to put this in white. And you're probably wondering, why don't I just fill tool all the black? And to you I say, well, I need to make sure that the tones are actually the tones that I actually want. If I just fill tool everything, it would just be a giant pain in the butt to get all the tones that I want. Like, I'm constantly swapping between making this the right fill tool versus the wrong fill tool in some ways. So, well, not the fill tool, but like these colors specifically. Yeah. I got this. Yeah. Alright. I'm making progress overall. At least in comparison. Oh yeah, I shaded this. That's what I need to do. Yeah. Yeah, Final Fantasy III is a rough first half because it's very magic focused. So if you pick any physical class, you're gonna actually be spending a lot of that time trying to catch up because you need mages for the first half of those games. Like, it's a requirement that you have mages because otherwise you'll never get through this village and the reptile village and the one where you need the frog spell and things like that. So that ends up kind of like screwing you early because you're spending so much time using spells to transform yourself in the field. So FF3 is, I think they were trying something different, but it really kind of like fell flat because a lot of it was very impractical. Alright. Get a little bit of a curl there, and that's more than enough. Little Nemo. I didn't want to try this game out because this music's pretty this music absolutely rocks. I think this was a Capcom composer who made the Little Nemo soundtrack. Nearly popped out myself. Ah, well. Did you know Ronaldo's in King of Fighters now? Like the actual soccer player Ronaldo. Like the actual, Brazilian soccer player Ronaldo. Like the Simpsons character Ronaldo. I'm a Ronaldo. I don't know. I mean, that's kind of cool. You got like a sports star. It'd be pretty bananas if they actually acknowledged Shaq Fu and put Shaquille O'Neal in maybe Mortal Kombat. Like at that point, you might as well just put him in Mortal Kombat. I think Shaq Fu has fatalities. If not, I'd like to imagine it has fatalities. I guess that's just me, like thinking that Shaq Fu could be better than it really is. Like just embrace the dumb cheese of Shaq Fu, and you got an essentially just better game. I think I have essentially every Mega Man game on the Switch right now, which makes sense. They released them all on the Switch. I do want to play them because I hear all those Mega Man games are quality. Like even Battle Network's pretty good. Of course, you don't want to play online until you actually complete the story, because otherwise you'll just be jumping into the sharks with that shit. You will get absolutely wiped in a turn if you're not good. Yeah. Okay. Do you like Final Fantasy, kids? Well, you better, because Final Fantasy 3 is here. It probably doesn't matter. All right, I think I got a decent amount of the for here, and then bada bing, bada boom. The other one looks a little iffy. Okay. Yeah, like one thing that kind of just look. That looks good. Looks quite high def. Looks high def enough. All right, that works. I think this is as good as I can get you. I keep feeling like the dithering's a distraction. This looks fine without the dithering. This guy's just overall looks better without the coat. Also, look at the neckline here. I'm Alucard. I'm Alucard. Bitches. Alucard. I'm Alucard. Bitches. There won't really be game remixing like that because I think it's probably, you know, it's a acquired skill. It is what it is. Still. Yeah. Like looking at this, trying to figure out what's actually. Because sometimes I feel like the dithering is still too much. I think I'll get rid of that finger dither right here. Yeah, I'd probably do a do a hand dither down here. That works sorta. This is probably overkill right here. I look at the preview, it's kind of like, now it's looking too messy. Like, no, that's way too messy. I feel like a lot of the dithering looks so messy. Yeah, oh. Tail dither. Then maybe I could dither the tail out. Or do this. That'd be too much, probably too much. Especially since the body will blend in too much. Body is already blending in so much. Maybe I could. Make it cheat a little. Yes. It's a crappy solution. A problem that probably now a tech limit that I'm self-imposing on myself. Being an insane person. Let's see. It's a Band-Aid. It's an extreme Band-Aid. Yeah, look at how much of a Band-Aid solution this is. Yep, this is too much of a Band-Aid right now. But I'll make it work. Yeah, it's kind of working. Kind of works. I think it looks way too busy. Looking hella busy. But lucky for me, I kept all my dithering in a separate thing. Then again, can't just make this just as straightforward. I could have just cell shaded this. Yeah, I'm now kind of at that point in the illustration. I'm like, well, let's see if it works. Let's see if this actually is legit. Okay. Embrace the spontaneity. Got that working. Ah. Okay. Okay. So far, so good. Okay. Think I got this working. Probably overcomplicates the silhouette a bit too much, but I'll live with that. I think I'm getting overly complicated. I also feel like biceps not as yeah, got it. Yeah, let's just get rid of this. Oops. Outside it. Let's just get rid of this top tail part because it's really not doing a lot to enhance this spot. Probably keep this right. It's all right. Fuck's sake, man. This is sort of working. All right. Let's see how's the body is going. I think this arm dither is just flat out not working. Let's scrap the arm dither right here. This is not working. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's kind of clashing with the core stuff here. Yeah, I think I'll just let this go. It does make things more complicated than it looks. This is overall cleaner. Probably could do something with the bicep here. I could do some shenanigans. Gotta just buff this line, make it more separate. Push that further out. It's a band-aid solution, but it looks better, or at least it looks clearer. Yeah, this is a band-aid solution. Yeah, there comes a time and place where you probably do need to stair step. Just make the line look just thicker. Just thick enough to be more noticeable. This guy have ear fluff? Kinda, sorta. Oh, he's got earrings too. Gotta get that in. I could probably do some shenanigans. Nitro Rad. Yeah, this looks alright. Okay. Looks pretty aesthetic. All right. I think I could probably just let this go then. I don't like this weird tail part. Clean you up just a bit. That looks good. Okay. Now it's just some little sketch things I'm kind of like, yeah, could I do any bit of anti-aliasing? Just push this line just lighter. Is it possible? It's entirely possible. Lines looking thinner. That's looking good. Yeah, you're just thin enough to be impossible to see. Thin that shit out just enough. Let's get you just thin. Everyone has enough deniability. I zoom out and it looks like the line thins out because the color itself does like. As an interesting trick with pixel art is that it's difficult to make a line look lighter, but you can do some special tricks and make it look like it fades out in the distance. Fades out like this. That looks good overall. But I don't want to overdo it too hard because I do want to at least leave room for the character to, like breathe and stuff. But I'd say it looks pretty good. Let's see. Could I do anything, I guess, more extra? Could I color the eye a bit more? No. Still rocking 4 values. That could work. That could work. Alright, this looks aesthetic. The only other thing you can do is figure out how to get the teeth to work. Because that is gonna look like a gold tooth. Zoom out. Looks static. Looks great. Alright, I can do something with the ear, and then I'll let you go. Alright, that looks good enough. Sometimes you kinda gotta be like, Ryan, this looks good enough. Let it go, motherfucker. Just a wee bit border. And once I do that, I at least have a base of where I can add the colors. Yeah, looks like it's straggling a little too much. That looks too much. Yeah, I think the initial tails were good enough. Because it shouldn't take off attention from this. Yeah, well, I'll do a sig. Do a basic gradient. Motherfucker. Nice basic dither fill. Looks plenty. Maybe this is better. Yeah, that looks decent. Let that go for a bit. I'm trying a new idea for a signature. Right. Paint this. Actually, that looks pretty good. I'll do that. It's more compressed in a way. And make you a stamp. Who knows? Okay. Alright. They'll do completion part 7. Do that. Save this as a general thing. What I'm also gonna do is export this script. Quick, do like stop. Alright, let's see if script export motherfucker. Come on. Oh, there it is. I'm fucking blanking now. Yeah, what's a good duration? Probably like 6 milliseconds. Agree. This is exporting sooner or later. This is taking 5 ever. Ooh, you are frozen. You're not crashed. Man, how many frames are there? One, two, 4. Just do for 6. New background. Ah, damn it. Oh, this is gonna fillet. We're just gonna go as far as I can. We're just gonna go as far as I fucking can, bro. I'm doing this for a time lapse, baby, because I want to record this for posterity, baby. Hell yeah, motherfuckers. Look at how far I can go. Not even halfway. I can zoom out, can I? Yeah, I can zoom in, but I can't zoom out any further. I wish there was a way to kind of just autofill these frames. Fuck it. I want to have a background, damn it. And is there a way that I could like select every frame? Yeah, we're just gonna go as far as I can. I am halfway through. Man, I wish I could like select all this at the same time. I like boom. Do this. Go all the way to frame 1. Copy. Okay. I hope this works. Fuck me, it doesn't work. Okay. Well, that's a drawback to doing these time-lapse stuff. That should be as far as possible. I'm gonna export this damn time-lapse motherfucker. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Well, now I've encountered an alternate problem. We'll go as far as I need to. Sheesh. Ah, damn nabbit. Why am I doing this? I don't know. We're just here. I did this to myself. Oh. Yes. Finally. Now. Call it time lapse. Export this for Twitter. Get both large and small. And we're going to wait patiently. If that don't work, well, I'll just have to delete it. You know? Got some gum right now. Just gonna sit here till it fucking works, man. Time lapse is cool. I kind of just wish it did this, I don't know, more automatically. Probably could put the action delay on 2 or something. But yeah, hope we can make this work. It's saving the file. It's currently at 29%. Oh, while I'm waiting. Good, I have a whip. I can at least send this to my client while I'm waiting. Okay. Nearly done. 5:43. I could continue on with some different things, maybe play a game. I could do that. Or maybe I could like do some alternate art thing as a cool down. Maybe color some stuff. Or maybe just wrap the stream. Just be done with it. But that is the most significant thing I need to do today, so. Okay. I think, yeah, once I finish this commission, I'm just gonna wrap. I was gonna do something else, but honestly, I want to just stand up and go outside. It's a nice sunny day out. I want to go walking. So I'll probably just do that instead. Because it's very possible that I will be streaming much earlier tomorrow. Just get stuff done. I should check my message, see if I have any slots left in my commissions list. But other than that, I'm basically done. Ugh. Woof, look at all that shit. Alright, let's see it in action. How would you look at you? Look at it go. Look at the past, I'd say 2 hours, 4 hours of drawing and streaming. I'm pretty happy with this though. It caught every action. Looks pretty good though. Caught every stroke. That's at 240 by 144. Honestly, I should save the Ace Sprite file just to have it. Ugh. So here I am reacting to myself painting my own thing. I should probably like stop and say, yeah, this is correct. Ugh. Because I probably can't even take this to Ace Sprite because I think it goes well past a minute. Because this is a 3 megabyte file. You might be able to convert to an MP4 that's shorter. Man, I'm kind of slow. You know, one thing that sucks is, unlike Pick Square, you can't make a sped up version of this. Probably wasn't a good idea to make this a 15 FPS thing. Should probably have made a 30 FPS thing. I think I get the idea. Man, it's a huge file. I think next time we'll put the action delay by like 2 maybe. Or 4. And maybe I'll convert to 2. That way they'll be slightly shorter. Now then, that I'm here. Orange. Yeah. Just like 2. Perhaps I could do a separate thing. Now then, let's do some palette importing. So my refs, I got this. And because I can do this, I can essentially use the continuous colors to recolor everything that I need. Alright, looking aesthetic. details also look aesthetic. Okay. Alright. Dithering. Keep rolling. Alright. Wait, my client replied. Find a tail or added it. Okay. Body pither. Okay. Now for basically trying to figure out all right. So far so good. Now then, for the just as hard part. I might be able to use this palette that ain't gonna work. Where's his reps? Where are his reps? Okay. I can sort of see where the blue's gonna go. Okay. Yeah, I know I've completely broken my initial thing of do monochrome commissions, but coloring this is not a humongous issue overall. Actually, no, it does take up time. It's not like it doesn't take up time. Luckily, I am thinking about the fact that I'm doing this during stream. I wonder if it's dumb to be not offering color commissions. But then again, these are just palette swaps overall. I make this a white color. Try to adhere to the most straightforward color. Fuck it, use white. But all else fails and nothing's working, just use white. Don't be a hero, just use white. Just use white. It's kind of like a red panda in some ways. Make it like a brownish or something. Or like a greenish blue. I think this is well beyond the color limit that I self-impose. kind of works. What's my color count? What's my current color count? Let's see. Damn it, how many colors? Yeah. Can you tell me my color counts? Oh well. Kind of blends in a little. Okay. You could probably get this working. It's a blue. Make you look like a Game Boy Color game, huh? Though I still badly need a color count. I know. New palette from Sprite. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. 9 colors. That could be reduced down to 8. Like I could get rid of white or the light blue. Yeah, get rid of the lights. So far, so good. Get you looking your bod. This is kind of useless. I get rid of this if I can't figure out a use for this. Correct. Okay. Try to create a gradient from this. Okay. It's actually looking kind of aesthetic here. Like, it's looking so Pokemon-like. Yeah, those look straight out of Game Boy. Alright, this is actually looking pretty decent. Alright, give me a color count. You pad from sprites. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Plus transparency, that's 7. I don't know where the fuck that transparency is, but it needs to go. That probably could just be that, but whatever. Think I crushed it. It's nice that I managed to at least adhere to maybe a better, more 8-bit palette. But I'm happy that I knocked this out. Alright, send it over. Yeah, that looks great. I'm actually really happy with this. I'll do one little tiny smidge. Looks sick. Alright, I'm really happy with how this turned out. I thought this was gonna fumble. I thought I was fumbling for a second, but turned out pretty incredible. Stretch my color limit, but honestly, you know, it looks alright. I'll consider maybe being a little more lax in these monochrome commissions. Who knows? I got the blues working. Good. Good, good, good. It all looks like it just works. It just works. I could probably just get rid of this. Right. Okay. I bet that padded some stuff, didn't it? All right. We'll just send this off. Oh. Are we done here? And if it's not done, well, I'll just wrap the stream. I'm feeling mighty tired. There's supposed to be a ping, you stupid. Yeah. All right. No. Why would you do this? Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of running out of power. All right. Okay. I think I'll probably just wrap for now. Consider myself done. Though I am weirdly curious if automatic snapshot. Hmm. Hmm. Let's see, what was 100 milliseconds? Let's see. I decided we'll just do the 100 milliseconds. Alright. It's gonna take 5 ever. We're just gonna wait a bit. We're just gonna pad some time. But hopefully everyone's enjoying themselves. Hopefully you all enjoyed yourselves with this. I see. I just stopped right here. Yeah, it's kind of pointless to continue with this, so scrap that. Yeah, well, the Game Boy look was looking alright. Honestly, I think this is as fine as I can muster this. I think, if there's any more work I need to do on this, I'll probably just do this off stream. But for now, I just consider these, I just consider these two. And I'll stick a fork in these because I'm done. Let's put them side by side here. Oh yeah, so far so good with this, I'd say. I'd say I totally crushed this.
Major bummer, dude.
Totally took a bit, but feeling kind of tired. But I am glad I knocked this out within 2 days or so. I think it took me an extra 2 hours. I should probably stop my timer. Alright. Roughly like 3 hours plus 2 hours yesterday. So yeah, 5 hours. I'm a slow artist. That kind of sucks though. Yeah, well. Anyway, I'll just let this go for now. But thanks again for stopping by my art stream. If I don't have any more slots tomorrow, I guess I'll show off my Game Boy commissions again. And you can check out my GB commissions. Just type in command GB commissions. And it'll be right there. And yeah, just hit me up with some cool commissions. Because tomorrow, if there are no commissions, I'm probably just gonna either work on more Black Mass stuff, probably dive into Unity, and kind of just see what I can do. And if not, it'll probably just be a variety game stream. Anywho, you've been all great. Thank you very much, and I will see you all next time. Have a good night.